Before we start making our own patterns, it's a good idea to try and change the patterns on an already existing garment to observe the effects. Now, since the dress right here is a bit more complicated, I will select all of the patterns for the dress, right-click, and select Hide 3D Pattern, or just press Shift and Q on my keyboard to hide it. Alright, now what I want to change is, let's try to make the sleeves a bit shorter. Now, as we went through in the previous clips, the Transform Pattern tool is meant for picking up our patterns, positioning them around the 2D window, rotating it, resizing them, and so on. But we have the other tool, the Edit Pattern tool, that is meant for picking up lines or points and basically editing our patterns. So we're going to pick this line up and we're going to push it upwards, and as you do that you can see that you can go in all directions, and of course we don't want that. We want to go straight up, and how we're going to do that is we're going to press Shift on our keyboards so we get a constraint that only enables us to go straight up, and we're going to make the sleeve much shorter. Alright, and so we will be able to observe the effect as soon as we hit spacebar on our keyboard, so we enter simulation mode. There we go, and the sleeves are pushed up, and I think we can make them even shorter. Remember to press Shift while you do this, and keep simulating all the time. There we go. Alright, that's one thing. Now let's get rid of this collar right here. So let's take our Transform Pattern tool again and delete the front of the collars and the back. And let's try to change the overall shape of this shirt by making it a V-neck right here. So I'm going to take my Edit Pattern tool again, and instead of picking up a line, which I did before, I'm just going to pick up this point and push it downwards and simulate. And you see I'm already getting a much more different effect than I had in the beginning. Now let's talk about curving our lines. We have two tools available in Marvelous Designer for curving lines, and the first one being the Edit Curvature tool. And I'm going to demonstrate how this looks. This is like a simplified tool for curves. So you see I can easily make curves right here. And if I simulate, you see that it's getting a bit tighter on her, a little more fitted. And if I use the other tool for curves, that's called the Edit Curve Point tool, you will see that I'm going to have much more control over the curve that I'm creating, because I'm able to put points here. So you see I can make very interesting, much more complex curves than with the previous tool, the Edit Curvature tool. But of course I don't need this kind of curve for the front pattern, so let's just go back with Control Z. And let's just stick with the first curve that we had. And let's curve the back as well with the Simplify tool. And simulate. Okay, now it's a lot more tighter on her. So naturally I could easily go from this shirt to, let's say, a sleeveless top, and if I would want to do that, I'm just going to grab my Transform Pattern tool and delete the sleeves with these collars as well. Alright, now I got no sleeves, but here the shoulder area is a bit too wide, so I'm going to pick this point right here in the front and also in the back, so both of these points, and push them together. Alright, so I get a little more different effect right here. I can also edit this a bit. Alright, and as you can see, we have something completely different than we had in the beginning. So I encourage you to play with this garment as much as you can, alter the lines, make them shorter, curvier, to get a feel for the software. Also try to grab and pull the garment, like I'm doing right here under simulation mode, to get a feeling of how to manipulate the fabric. Looking back, we have learned some essentials about Marvelous Designer by getting acquainted with the interface, getting to know some of the settings that are available to us, and inspecting the parallels between a 2D pattern and the end result in the 3D window. Having all the necessary basic information, we can now move on to designing our own patterns and simulating them, which we will handle in the next module. Hope to see you there.